That's what they killed the Passover lamb. And it's just went over most of the Jews' head that when they were down in Jerusalem, killing the lamb for Passover, the Lamb of God was being killed upon the cross of Calvary at the same time. To fulfill Passover, he became our Passover. So the day he died, accurately, it's on a Wednesday. According to the Old Testament law, they had to kill the lamb on the 14th day of Nisan. Little detail, but most important, between the evening sacrifices, there were 2 evening sacrifices. One at 3 p.m. and one at 6. The 6 o'clock one ended the day and also ushered in the new day. So he had to die between these hours. Again, this is not the Gospels. One of the writers records the fact that when Jesus gave the ghost, it was just after the 9th hour. He had to die on time, so he said that no man takes my life. I lay it down. If I have the power to lay it down, I have the power to pick it back up again. It's kind of a misleading line that says that he gave the ghost. That sounds like he died. That's not what he did. Before he died, he made a statement. He said, "It is finished." All the work he's called to do as far as redemption is concerned, it was finished. And then he would do this and breathe the spirit out. Nobody can do that. We're at the mercy of death when we die. It's just a situation where I wish people could do that. I'm sure we're today wish they could. They say when a person gets close to dying, they go into what we call a fish breathing. They breathe real slow, real fast. But nobody can just breathe it out, because nobody has the power to lay their life down. He died with all the requirements of the Old Testament law of Moses and died on time. The rest is easy math. Keep in mind, after he died, Joseph, his uncle Joseph, Arimathea, and Nicodemus, the one who spoke by night, they're both on the Sanhedrin Council. They're both excluded from the meeting when they decided to deliver him over to be killed. But it says they went and begged the body from Pilate. They got that word just like that's what it means. Beg the body, which implies it took time. Anybody understand my bureaucracy? You just walk into Pilate's house, knock on the door, come in, and say, "Can I have his body?" But they go through protocol. And it says Pilate marveled that he was dead already, because crucifixion could take a while. Sometimes they hang on the cross for days before they died. The Bible again was, the scripture was fulfilled, where it says that not one bone on his body should be broken. In case the person being crucified should have to fall off the cross, which wasn't too likely. They tied him on, they put spikes to the wrist, to the ankle bones. They weren't going nowhere. But they should. They're not going nowhere, because they come by then and break their legs at the end of the ceremony. When it came to break Jesus' legs, they saw he was already dead. So the pure hate and spite, the soldier being robbed of the chance to break his legs and inflict that kind of pain on him, took his sword, his spear, and just shoved it to his side. Having no idea he fulfilled the type of the Old Testament with the high priest when he went to Holy of Holies once a year and sprinkled the mercy seat, the Ark of the Covenant, 7 times with blood. His spear marked the 7th point. He had 2 in his hands, 2 in his feet, that's 4. Crown of thorns was 5. He was beaten in his back, and that bled, 6. And the spear marked number 7. And as Ron Wyatt points out, he was crucified right over a place called Jeremiah's Grotto. And it says in the, again, by these writers here, the Synoptic Gospels, one is the fact he said that the rocks is an earthquake and the rocks ring. Who cares? The fact there's an earthquake, it's not that important. But these men were telling stories as they saw things. They're not trying to deceive nobody, lead nobody astray. They're historians. Luke was not only a physician, but a historian. He wrote to his friend Theophilus to set in order all the things that took place from the time Jesus came down, was baptized, until he went back to heaven again. They said the rocks cracked. He was on his cross, bleeding. Earthquake comes. He seems to set against the rocks. And when the rocks cracked in the earthquake, happened to leak down to Jeremiah's grotto, under which was a mercy seat that had been hidden there, the Ark of the Covenant. And like the priest in the Old Testament, when he went to sprinkle the mercy seat 7 times the blood of animal, he sprinkled the mercy seat 7 times with his own blood, and therefore fortified and secured our right to salvation.
Amen.
It's a real big deal. Now again, they had to beg his body. They had to wash his body. They tried to make him look as much as normal as they possibly could. Although one of the prophets said that his visage should be so marred that nobody would recognize him. I mean, 600 soldiers went around like an offering time and hit him and beat him. He was beaten with a scepter they made. Then to make more fun, they weaved a crown of thorns. We had a thorn tree in our backyard growing up. Those thorns were about that long. And they were real sharp. We were playing kickball in the alley. My sister jumped up to get the ball, lost her balance, fell against a thorn tree, and that thorn ripped her arm wide open. Had to take her to the hospital and get stitched up. They made that, put on his head. That's where I did a good time. Then they put a scarlet robe on him, called him king and everything. They had to try to fix the damage done from the beating and abuse he took. We're told that they wrapped his body in 100 pounds of ointments and spices. You'll do it in 5 minutes. Just to wrap the body for a burial took a while. The shroud of Turin is a lie. Jews don't bury folks in shrouds. They never did. They took and wrapped them up. You get a preview with the resurrection of Lazarus. When Lazarus came forth out of the grave, he said, Lazarus, come forth. Somebody once said that had he not called Lazarus' name, everybody would come forth. Oh, dead. He said, Lazarus, come forward. Lazarus came out hopping. He said, loose the man. A person wrapped up couldn't cut their own wrappings loose. They wrapped each in the original arm, then around the body several times, and then the arm again several times, then the whole thing several times, and these legs several times individually, then both legs together, then the whole body all the way up. There's no way that could be done in 5 minutes. Then you got to take him to the burial site. It says, again, it's prophesied that he'll be buried, he'll make his death with the wicked, and his grave with the rich. He's put into a tomb where nobody had been buried before. A rich man's tomb. Uncle Joseph's tomb. Again, Christian art, Satan quick to capitalize on it. You see these Easter pictures. You see them on bulletins on Sunday. You got this little dark spot here. You got the stone, just barely moving. You know? Somebody got the idea, supposedly, that because when they went to the tomb, it says they went there stooping down to the tomb. These are things that God has revealed to us. Like, this is a rich man's tomb. You could look at this rich man's tomb standing up. They had pallbearers, they walked in standing up. Well, why did they stoop down? That first day of the week. Because Pilate put a seal in the stone, stamped with his ring. There's a clay rope. The clay rope attached to this side of the wall, went around the stone, attached to that side. So it will be broken. Then he placed guards there. First time in history the dead man had soldiers guarding his body. So unless the disciples came and say to stole the body and say that he got up, because the deceiver said, destroy this temple, and in 3 days he raised back up again. So Pilate said, make it as sure as you can. And they did. And that angel, when the angels came down and moved that stone, he moved that stone without disrupting the seal. That clay rope was still stuck there, and how he moved a great big stone like that without disrupting the clay rope, I don't know. But since the stone was moved, and way, apo, meaning over there. No man came and did that. The people come in just like the picture shows, little partial opening, let's drag the body out and make a fast getaway. Well, what about the guards? You gotta get past these armed guards. And no guard worth his salt was gonna say, they would say that somebody came and stole a dead body on their watch. You agree? And they probably told the story, so they were paid large sums of money. And so they took the money and did as they were told. So also was on the record, and they did steal the body. They went along with the story went out. You're talking about the Roman government. You're talking about the mightiest military might in the world, the largest army in the world. All they got to do is do a door-to-door search. The apostles were hard to find. They were all together in an upper room. They didn't go anywhere. They probably didn't go home. They were afraid they were going to come and get arrested, but they hung up together. Go kick the door in. Send guards, send soldiers to every house in Jerusalem and kick the door in and produce a body. It makes Rome look pretty inept to go off the story, and Rome couldn't find a dead man's body. What's wrong with that picture? Everything. Point is, it took a while to bury him, but they put him in the grave before 6 o'clock. What's the rest of the math involved? Just as it took 72 hours, 3 days and 3 nights. He went in between 3 and 6. He got between 3 and 6. There's nothing in the scriptures, nowhere, that link his whole affair with sunrise. And yet, a lukewarm church will celebrate a sunrise service to commemorate his resurrection. Why would they do that? Again, the lukewarm. It shouldn't be hard to understand how this church, supposedly being his disciples and his followers, have gone along with the deceiver making a mockery of the whole thing. And he said, I'm going to spit in my mouth because they make him sick to his stomach. And most of what you see in the professing church is not his church. His church is hidden. His church is underground. He has some few followers who know the truth and hold to the truth, and the rest of them he don't care about. I've been saying for years, teaching, I've been saying that around 90 to 95% of visible Christianity is not his church. Period. It's secular. And it's not surprised by Jesus. He predicted that from day one. He talked about Satan's seat in his church. He talked about the birds lodging in the branches of the air in his church. He talked about Satan's synagogue in his church. It's no surprise. The one church, he said, you have a name, you live, and you're dead. He called the whole shop. And we're so blessed to be a part of the last days believers who still have God's truth and know what the real deal is and the real record is. And I say hold fast to it and spread the word. Okay? Everybody knows he didn't get up on Easter Sunday. Wasn't that day at all. He says, take heed, don't let me deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ. And so deceive many. I can't talk about the Pope tonight, but the way this message is going, the Lord, God already started the Pope. So if it doesn't like the Pope in my readings part of class tonight, don't get upset. Okay? We do have a Jesuit Pope. Did you say that? Long way. I announced this reading some time ago. This is one of the most important articles I'll ever read to you. And then the Lord put it off. And he put it off. And he put it off. And he put it off. And each time I brought it, ready to read, looking forward to it, and God did something different. And what's till the Pope resigned, that God's okay now. Now read this. And this article, in fact, the entire article is about the Pope and the Jesuits. And now on 3/13/13, they voted the Jesuit Pope. In between the reading of this article and the resignation, that's what we got. I haven't finished the article yet, and I'll finish reading it. the Lord allows, right? I got 4 more here to read. 5. Probably read in. But I'll tell you what I want to read about, okay? Let's go on with this. Many shall come my name. And shall deceive many. I'm going to put this up to you. You tell me what you think. It's no right or wrong answer here. Just say what you think. The world's population is 7 billion plus. What number would you pick to qualify as many? Anybody? Yeah, put a hand out and have to call. Rory?
Well, it's not half a billion.
Half a billion, right? $5 billion. Anybody else?
6,900,000,000.
Keep up everybody, huh? Any more?
3. 4.
3 billion. Somebody said 4 billion?
Yeah.
I think we're all pretty much in agreement that to say you see many out of the world of 7 billion, should have at least 1.1 plus billion people.
Yeah.
You agree?
Yeah.
That's 1/7 of the world population. Okay? Of all the people in history, since I've been alive, who come saying I'm Christ, or taught something similar to that, the best I've gotten have been less than 1,000. David Koresh, Jim Jones, Charlie Manson. Nobody ever fulfilled that. It's not been fulfilled. Deceiving many. Many come out and say I am Christ and deceive many. Nobody. What did God tell us one Sunday? 2 words. Many shall come at once, saying we're Christ. Word Christ means again, deliverer. And so deceive many. And I believe, I'll take most of these numbers. I'm falling somewhere like around 3 billion, at least. They're going to deceive most of the world. The event is called first contact. That's all this man's papers have been about since we've been reading him since 97. That's all they've been about. First contact. That's all his papers have been about for all these years. 97, 7, 12, 15 years. 16 years he's been around about first contact. And mass landings. That's all they're looking for to do. They want the governments to show who they are, to formally introduce them to the world, and of course, they haven't been. From what I've been reading on these things combined lately, their plan is to end all world governments at once. Okay? It's not going to be a war. They're going to come up with a plan, and they already got the plan in motion. All you got to do is sign it and make it happen. But they're going to end every major world government in one day. Makes sense. And they're going to become the governor of the earth. And of course, they're promising blessing and prosperity and abundance to the entire planet.